But now that Justin is locked up, y'all would think that the case is over. Y'all would think that the video is about to end. Absolutely not. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you're ready, let's go. Alright y'all, so today is day 5, the last day of Mystery Week. Let me know in the comments what y'all think the theme for this week is, and I'll let y'all know at the end of the video. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, my last 4 videos and this video have all been centered around the theme. And so if you want to participate and guess, go ahead and make sure you watch my previous 4 videos after you watch this one, because you don't have to watch them in any particular order to catch the theme. So yeah, if you want to toss your guess in, go watch the other videos, watch this video, and then let me know in the comments what you think the theme is, okay? And with all that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into the case. And y'all, today's case is like a great wrap up to the series, because this case has pretty much everything that I've talked about in all the other videos wrapped into one. Like, this one is a whole mess. So let's go ahead and get into it. And today we're in North Liberty, Iowa with a guy named Ron Roby. And for all intents and purposes, Ron is a criminal. Ron is a scammer. He's not a violent criminal, okay? He's a white-collar crime criminal, and he just be scamming, scheming, stealing money, stuff like that. And at this point in life, he's a little bit older, and so he's looking to retire from the criminal world. And he's just trying to live his life right and trying to live his life happily when he meets this guy named Justin Dewitt. Now, he met Justin because he needed a little bit of landscaping work done to his house, and Justin owns a landscaping company. He hired Justin to do his landscaping work for him. But during the course of Justin doing work for Ron kind of noticed that Justin needed some friends, because Justin wouldn't only come over for landscaping. He would come over for coffee. He would come over just to have a chit chat. He would really just stop by to have friendly conversation with Ron. Ron just trying to be a nice guy. He obliges the friendship. He could tell that Justin needed a friend, and he was willing to be that for him. But one day Justin came to him and he was like, "Ron, would you mind doing me a favor? Like, do you want to do me a favor?" And Ron was like, "What kind of favor?" And Justin just flat out say, "I want you to kill this guy and his family for me." And Ron is sat there like, "Sir, I steal, I don't kill." But he also knows that if he don't say yes and if he don't agree to do this, that Justin could find somebody else to do it. So Ron agrees. He's like, "Okay, cool." But he knows that he's immediately going to the police. And he does. So he takes this information to the police, and with Ron's criminal history, the police are very familiar with him. They've arrested this man many a times. So they're pretty skeptical about the information that he's bringing to them. And Ron knew that with his past, he would be looked at kind of funny. So he came prepared. He had ended up talking to Justin a little bit later after the initial conversation, and he recorded their conversation. So he came well prepared. So he played this recording for the police, and in this recording you can hear Justin saying that he wants this guy killed because he cost him a lot of money. He said that they were business partners, and that the guy he wants killed cost him to lose a $75,000 account. And so now, since he cost him so much money, he got to go. So Ron is playing his part, and he asked Justin, "So who do you want this done to?" And Justin says that it's this guy named Chad Williams, Chad's wife, and Chad's kids. And then he proceeds to ask Ron how much would it cost. And Ron was just like, off the top of his head, just a random number. He said $8,000. And so listening to this recording, the cops are just sitting there stuck and looking at Ron like, okay, so maybe he's not lying. But they still feel kind of skeptical of him, because maybe, just maybe, Ron is kind of forcing Justin to say these things and do these things. They don't know. They don't know. They only see Ron one way. So even though they're super skeptical of Ron, they kind of want to take this seriously just in case and look into these claims. And so they do. They want Ron to call Justin while the police are present, so that they can be sure that Ron isn't coercing him and that Ron ain't in on it in any type of way, shape, or form. And they want Ron to offer Justin an out. They want to make sure that he offers him and out. And so Ron calls Justin while he's at the police station, and he's talking like, "I just wanted to see if you was in the same mind frame that you was in before, you know, because I can get it done for you, da 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 da." And Justin is just sat on the phone quiet. And so Ron kind of picked up what was happening, and he was like, "Oh, you don't want to talk over the phone?" And Justin confirmed that that's what was going on, that he would just rather meet in person. So since Justin didn't talk while Ron was in there with the police, they instructed Ron to not have any contact with Justin. They didn't want him to meet with him. They didn't want him to take no phone calls from him without police presence. And so Ron agrees, but later on that same day, Ron ended up calling the detective, but the detective didn't answer the phone. And when the detective checked his messages, it was Ron saying that as he was taking the trash out, Justin rolled by and set up and wanted to have lunch with him. And so Ron is like, I don't know what to do. I know y'all told me not to talk to him, but he rolled by my house. I couldn't just run back in the house and act like I didn't see him. And so the detective calls Ron back. And when he called Ron back, as soon as he get on the phone, Ron goes, hey, he's here. And so the police are on the other line, and they ask Ron, do he know how to set up the voice recorder on his phone? And Ron, he's an older guy, and he said he don't know how to do that. And then he, kind of played off like, hey, let me hit you back. And so they get off the phone, and unfortunately, the police don't have any recording of what happened between Ron and Justin in that meeting. So they really have nothing to go on at this point. So the police decided to go to Ron's house after Justin left, and they instructed him to call Justin and let him know that he found a hitman and that the hitman will be calling him soon. And so Ron obliged. He did exactly what the detectives instructed him to do. And he called Justin, and he's on the phone with him, and he pretty much just tells him like, hey, a number is going to call you in a little bit that you do not know. Please make sure you answer the phone because it's my guy. So now the undercover officer calls Justin, and he's talking to Justin, and he's telling him like, hey, I heard you want some work done. Justin's like, yes. And so they set up a date and time to meet each other. And the undercover tells Justin that he needs to bring a picture of who he wants this done to, and he needs some type of money or collateral as a down payment. And Justin agrees. And so it was at this point that the detectives felt like, okay, Ron really is not involved in this at all. This is Justin's doing. This is something that Justin wants done, because now they're not talking through Ron. They're talking directly through their officer. So the undercover cop, whose name is Matt. All right, y'all. So I literally just sat here and called this man Matt for like 20 minutes. His name is actually Doug. I'm so sorry, Doug. His name is Doug, not Matt. And Justin decided to meet at a Menards parking lot on June 24th, 2016 at around like 1 o'clock. And so y'all already know how this goes. There's undercovers in the parking lot everywhere. And so soon after Matt gets there, Justin pull up and he gets in the car. And the ice is broken immediately because apparently Matt gave Justin the wrong directions and told him to go a certain way when he should have went another way or something like that. And Justin was pretty much just laughing and joking and telling Matt that he was terrible at directions. So they have a nice little chuckle about that, and then they get straight to business. So Matt asked Justin, did you bring a picture? And Justin's like, oh no, I don't have one. I got one in my office. And then Matt was like, okay, well, did you bring me some money for a down payment? And Justin was like, no, I don't have no money. I gotta go get it. And it's like, sir, why are you here? You have nothing. But Matt wanted to keep him talking, and so he goes, well, why do you even want this done? And so Justin goes on to tell him the same thing that he told Ron, that he lost him a $75,000 account and that he got to go because he just costing him way too much money and he cannot have this. And so then Matt asks him like, okay, so who do you want this done to? What is this person's name? And he goes, Chad Williams and his wife. And then Matt asks him, okay, so what's his wife's name? And he tells him Angie. And so then Matt's like, okay, so you want the kids done too? And he's like, yeah. And Matt was like, okay, what the kids do to you? Why they gotta go? And Justin was basically like, what's the point of taking them out and not the kids? And it's like, oh yeah, you're so sweet. You don't want to leave the kids as orphans. How nice, Justin. And so Matt, plays along, even though he's feeling sick to his stomach at this point. And Justin ends up telling him that he wants this done by the end of the month. And Matt was like, okay, you want all this stuff done, but this is going to cost you. So Justin asks, how much? And Matt just reiterates what Ron said, going based off of what Ron had told him previously. And he said $8,000. And so since Justin came with nothing, Matt pretty much just told him like, okay, go get me a picture of Chad, give me a picture of Angie, and I also need some money. And 24 hours after you get this money to me, it's over with. They done, they gone, they dead, and they not coming back. And Justin so callously, like he smiled when he said this. He said, I've never met anybody that was dead and came back. But it wasn't like what I just said. It was like, I've never met anybody who was dead and came back. So after that, they agreed to talk on Monday, and Justin gets out of the car. And about 20 minutes later, Matt receives a text message, and it's a picture of Chad and Angie. So now the undercover has a positive identification of who he's supposed to be carrying a hit out on. But then there's like a little bit of a snag in the investigation, because on Sunday, the day before they were set to meet again, Justin texts Matt and tell him that he can't come up with the money. And so now Matt and the detectives are like, okay, so do he not want it done no more? Is he gonna find somebody else to do it for cheaper? Like, what's up? But luckily, Justin texts him again and tells him, like, look, I can come up with $1,000 and then I can write you an IOU. So Monday rolls around. It's now the 27th of June, and it's time for Matt and Justin to meet again. And at this meeting, Justin actually does give Matt the $1,000, and he writes out an IOU. He literally writes out, no, he don't write out IOU, but he definitely does like write out some type of contract or promise to pay or something like that. And as he's writing, he laughing and joking, and he say, you don't got the cops sitting here waiting on me, do ya? And Matt, he kind of like, oh shit, but he played it off well, and he's like, no. It was kind of like a nervous no, but he did say no, and Justin, you know, just oblivious to the whole situation, steady writing. And not even 20 seconds later, Justin's door fly open with cops yelling in his face, telling him to put his hands up, and Matt literally pushes this man out of his car, and he is arrested and taken into custody. And they ended up charging him with 4 counts of attempted murder and 4 counts of solicitation to commit murder. And so now that Justin is arrested and the threat is gone, the police let Chad and Angie know what was happening, because they didn't tell them during the course of this because they didn't want Chad to confront him. So they pretty much just left Chad and Angie in the dark. And so now they're finally letting them know, and you can just imagine the shock of Chad and Angie, because Chad said that he don't know what Justin's talking about. He never lost a contract. And furthermore, him and Justin didn't even have a lot of communication like that. It was more or less a, hey, how you doing, in passing type of situation. And Justin had only met Angie one time. And so it was kind of like, what the hell? And then Angie, she was like just super shook because her kids is only 4 and 2 years old. But of course, they were thankful and grateful to not only the police, but Ron as well, because if Ron hadn't gone to the police, they all could have been dead. But now that Justin is locked up, y'all would think that the case is over. Y'all would think that the video is about to end. Absolutely not. I told y'all this was like an all-in-one. Everything that I just told y'all about in the last 4 videos is happening all in this case right here. So Justin is being housed in jail, obviously, just patiently awaiting his trial. And Doug ends up getting a phone call from another undercover officer telling Doug that he has information that Justin is trying to carry out a hit on him. So now Justin, in jail awaiting trial, is now trying to have a hit taken out on Doug, the undercover cop who got him arrested. But that's not all. Oh, no, 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 no. The undercover also tells Doug that Justin wants somebody to take out Ron too. And all of this information that Doug is getting from this undercover is coming from a jailhouse informant. And so, of course, law enforcement takes immediate action, and they tell the informant to let Justin know that he might have somebody on the outside who could take care of this business for him. And so the informant does so, and he lets Justin know that he knows a guy named Wolf, and that he'll set up a visitation for him to meet Wolf. Right? Okay. So as we all know, it's not typical for the actual hitman to be walking up into the jail having the visitation with the person who's hiring them, right? So the police send in an undercover to have a visitation with Justin, who's posing as a middleman to Wolf. So the undercover goes in and he has this meeting with Justin, and they on those visitation phones. And so the informant tells Justin, like, listen and listen good. The phones that are over there that you use to call out are recorded. Do not talk about this on those phones. These visitation phones, though, are not recorded, so we can kind of talk freely. And so Justin was like, okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the word vacation to refer to the hits. When I say I need somebody to go on vacation, that means I don't need them coming back. And so Justin proceeds to tell the middleman that he needs 3 people to go on vacation. And he like, 3? I thought it was 2. And Justin was like, no, I need Doug, Ron, and Ron's wife, Sherilyn. So the informant tells him that it's going to be $25,000 because not only is this 3 people, but one of them is a law enforcement agent. So there's a big price for him. And so Justin, he like, all right, cool. Despite the fact that he couldn't even get Doug his $8,000 and only gave him $1,000, he can somehow make $25,000 happen. Okay. And he said he need this done before January 6th because he has a big event, which would be his court date that's coming up. And the undercover's like, okay, we need a $500 deposit. You remember that P.O. box that we was talking about? Yeah, have somebody put it in there and we'll be all good. So Justin agrees to have somebody put $500 into the P.O. box. And once the money is in the P.O. box, he said that Wolf will be carrying out this hit very soon after. So the police decide to tell Ron and Sherilyn that they have a hit out on them, but not to worry because they're intercepting the whole thing. And it's like Ron was trying to do the right thing. The one time Ron wanted to do the right thing and ain't trying to steal from nobody and ain't trying to be a con man, this happens, and it's like, damn, you can't win for losing. But in any event, Ron goes along with whatever the police may need, so he's willing to do whatever. But they don't really need too much from him. They just wanted to let them know what was going on. So after the first meeting between Justin and the middleman, the detectives were told that somebody in the jail had told Justin that he was talking to a cop. I don't know how they got this information, but they got the information that somebody in the jail had told Justin that the middleman was a cop. And so now they shook and rattled. They think that this is done. They think that they've been caught and that Justin is about to call everything off. And they don't want that, because then that means Justin's just going to try to find somebody else to do it. And so they nervous as hell. But luckily Justin is stupid, and the undercover ends up getting a call from Justin, pretty much just talking about the down payment. And so now they know that Justin don't believe the inmate, and so the sting is still on. And so the undercover set up another visitation, saying that he's going to bring pictures this time to verify who he, just to make sure that he got the right people. And so that's exactly what he does. He uses Ron mugshot, a picture of Sherilyn that looked like maybe it's from Facebook or something like that. And then they had Doug stage a picture of him just doing regular stuff around the town, like going to the gas station, going to the grocery store, stuff like that. And so those are the 3 pictures that the undercover brought back to the jail to show Justin. And once Justin saw all the pictures, he was like, yep. Those are the 3. And now all they got to do is wait for Justin to provide the down payment. And Justin is determined to get this down payment. He was calling his brother and anybody who he thought could help. And one of his friends named Travis, he told his friend Travis that he owed this guy some money, and if he could help him out, could he give this guy $250? And so he does what Justin asked him to do, and he literally just unknowingly paid for 3 people to be murdered. It's like, how could you put somebody in that situation? And with that, the deal is sealed. And on December 27th, the police take Justin from the jail to the police station in one of those little interrogation rooms, and they start asking him questions. And they tell him that they pretty much got some information that he was trying to hire somebody to take other people out. And Justin was like, I'm in here for stupid shit like that. Why would I do it again? And the police are like, well, because you're stupid. And the police go back and forth with him for a little minute. And Justin finally goes, I don't know how y'all gonna prove something that didn't happen. And the police are like, well, buddy, joke's on you, because those phones, those visitation phones that you thought wasn't recorded? Yeah, they're recorded. And he was just sitting there stuck and stupid. And so he goes back to his cell, and then they bring him back down the next day on the 28th. I don't even really know why they brought him back down, but they did. And in this interview, they asked Justin, what do you think should happen to you? And this fool says nothing. He said nothing. He said he's there because those 2 put him there, meaning Doug and Ron. And it's like, no, sir. No, sir. Do you think maybe you could be here because you tried to hire somebody to take out somebody's whole family? And he was essentially charged with 3 more counts of attempted murder on top of the 4 that he already had. And so he goes to court on the first case, and he ended up pleading guilty to those charges, and he was sentenced to 35 years, and it would be up to a parole board if and when he ever got released. But then when it came time to go to court for his second case, he decided to plead not guilty on those charges and went to trial, which he really should have just pled guilty and took a lesser sentence, because the jury only took 12 minutes to decide that he was guilty on all 3 counts, and he was sentenced to 50 years to be served consecutive to the 35 that he already got, which means back to back and not coinciding, meaning this man will serve 85 years in prison and he will never be released. I told y'all that was a crazy one. But yeah, y'all, that's the case. That's the case. And the theme for this week was failed murder for hires. And B. Walker was the first one who got it right. He said that it was murder for hire. He didn't say the failed part, but close enough. Thanks for being a loyal subscriber, because he always comment. But yeah, y'all, thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. He's a white collar crime criminal. He's a white collar crime. That is hard to say. Oh my God, we not starting. He's a white deny Justin. I know you lying. Why would you do that? So the police decided to go to John. Oh my God. Damn, was I calling Doug Matt the whole time?